report from the airport, Lieutenant. Templar left for London.
You sure?
Flight 101. He must be halfway there by now.
Wonderful. Maybe I can catch up on some sleep now. Donovan, send a cable to Chief Inspector Teal, Scotland Yard, London, England. Delighted report, Simon Templar, alias the Saint, left New York for England today. Stop. He's all yours, brother. Deepest sympathy, signed, Fairnack.
It's a long time since I had the pleasure of paying you, Teal.
Yeah, too long. First time in months, not a crime on the desk. Finally give me a chance to tackle my handicap.
Sorry to disturb you, sir.
Yes, Gray, I might have known you'd find me.
So the crime wave's caught up with you. I'll see you on the tee.
I doubt it.
Thought it might be important. Bad news, sir?
Couldn't be worse, Gray. The Saint's back, and I was due for leave this Christmas.
But surely that's not going to spoil Christmas.
Listen, Gray, when you've known the Saint as long as I have, you'll realize he's only got to turn up anywhere near to spoil Christmas for all of us.
But can't we arrest him, sir?
No, we can't. The Saint doesn't break the law, he just bends it. I'll get my coat.
What about your game, sir?
I'm going to find the Saint before it's too late. And I hope he's as worried as I am.
I'm proud of you, Hoppy. The place looks swell.
Thanks, boss. I thought you'd like it. I came back as soon as I got your cable. There I was in Monte Carlo with £1 million francs. 2 beautiful girls. Just waiting for you to show up.
I can't hear you. What did you say?
2 beautiful girls. I'm just waiting for you.
Well, where are they?
Not here, boss. In Monte Carlo, where we were going on our vacation.
I'm sorry, Hoppy. I'm disappointed, too. But business before pleasure, you know. Here, get this number for me, will you?
Mm-hmm. Judy Finn?
That's right. You remember Judy.
She called for you.
Yes, that's why we're here. Now stop asking questions and get her on the phone.
She's dead. Dead? Killed in a motor accident.
When?
Just 2 days ago.
That's impossible. That's when I got her cable. Doesn't add up. An accident?
The police think so.
Well, they could be right. Get the number anyway. I'll talk to her guardian. Well, as I live and breathe, if it isn't my old friend, Inspector Claude Eustace Teal. Claude, I thought you were a plainclothes man.
I got the number, boss.
Tell him I'll call later. Come in, Claude, come in.
Thanks. Don't let me disturb you. Go ahead and make that call.
Oh, that's all right, Claude. It can wait.
Glad to see you, Lieutenant.
If that's meant for me, the title is Chief Inspector. I can't say I'm glad to see either of you.
I hoped you'd come to welcome me back personally.
You're not welcome. And I'm here on official business.
Oh, you're in trouble again. Now, if there's anything I can do to help you, Claude...
Trouble? You're my only trouble, Templar. What are you doing in London?
I just wanted to revisit the old places.
We've closed them all.
Well, seriously, I don't know myself why I'm here.
You expect me to believe that?
It's the truth. I honestly don't know.
And it's the first time that ever happened. Look, Templar, I like you.
Oh, thank you, Claude. I like you, too. I think Scotland Yard is fortunate to have such a fine upstairs...
Don't change the subject.
I'm sorry.
You have the knack of getting into more trouble than any man I know.
Oh, thank you, Claude.
I'll keep in touch with you. Then we can both find out why you're here.
Well, it's always a pleasure to talk to you, Inspector. But please don't call me before noon.
Who you put on to tell him?
Mason, sir.
Any good?
He'll stick to him like glue, sir.
Let's hope he's not the one that gets stuck. Come on.
I'd rather talk to you in person, Colonel Stafford. It's quite urgent. Thank you. I'll be there in an hour. Goodbye. Taxi! Victoria Station, please. and change, sir. You'll have to hurry, sir.
Thanks.
Where did that man book to?
I'm sorry, sir. Paris, on the Golden Arrow. It's just leaving, sir.
Thank you.
Inspector Teal, please. Hello, is this the Lost Property Office? I'd like to report a lost detective. I'm sorry, Claude. I did my best for him. He seems to think I'm on my way to Paris. Let's call the boat train. Goodbye, Claude. I'm sorry. Have a nice time.
Was that Mason, sir?
No, Gray, it wasn't. Mr. Clever Mason is on a little trip to Paris. That was the saint.
You mean Mason's lost him?
I mean, Mason is back on the beat.
But I can't imagine why Judy sent for you, Mr. Templar. If she was in trouble, Colonel Stafford, it's only natural to ask a friend for help. Then why didn't she come to me? Ever since her parents died, I've been her closest friend. Being her legal guardian, did you also manage her estate? What was left of it? She'd been drawing rather heavily on her account. Oh? Why, Colonel? Haven't you asked enough questions, Mr. Templar? I'm sorry, I'm only trying to get at the truth. She'd been gambling. She was in debt. That doesn't explain her death. The police are satisfied it was an accident. I know. But what about the cable she sent me? Nothing more than the impulse of an hysterical girl. Do you know where she'd been gambling, Colonel? If I had, I'd have gone straight to the police with the information. Gambling is illegal in this country. It is in my country, too. But that doesn't stop people breaking the law. Well, I'm sorry to have bothered you, Colonel. If that's all you know, thanks very much. Not at all. If I can help at any time, please call. Thanks, Colonel.
I'm busy. Come back tomorrow. The Saint. Well, Mr. Templar.
Hello, Irish.
Come in, come in. This is an honor. Make yourself at home. I thought you were still in the States.
Came in today. I have a little business to attend to.
What can I do for you, Mr. Templar?
I want a few supplies.
Supplies, eh?
You're still in business, I hope.
They'll put you on to me, Mr. Templar.
Really?
Morelli? Yes, he and I did quite a bit of business before he went back to New York. What's he doing now?
10 years.
10 years? That's a bit rough.
So was the beating he gave the night watchman.
Violence. Why will these boys use violence? Morelli was the quiet, gentlemanly type, Mr. Templar. I like myself. He could have been a bishop if there'd been any money in it.
Well, he's a regular churchgoer now. What about the supplies?
Of course.
Thanks. Well, one more thing. Where can I do some gambling?
Well, that's not easy. The police have closed everything tighter than a drum.
There must be some place where I can get a little action.
Possibly some nightclub could be running a game in the back, but I couldn't tell you where to try.
Well, thanks anyway. Be seeing you, Irish. Scotch over ice, please.
Yes, sir.
By the way, what's your name?
Victor, sir.
Victor, huh? Tell me, Victor, how long has this town been dead?
Dead, sir?
Yeah. I'd like to ask you a question. I've asked 6 other bartenders tonight without success. What happened to all the fun and games they used to be? Particularly games.
Do you mean gambling, sir?
Where can I find a game? Someplace where a sporting gentleman can rearrange his bank balance at the flip of a card or the turn of a wheel.
Afraid I don't know, sir.
Oh, that's too bad. This stuff's burning a hole in my pocket. I feel lucky tonight. There's no way to prove it.
Gambling's illegal, sir.
Sure it's illegal. It was illegal last time I was in this country, but there was plenty of it just the same.
Sorry, sir. Can't help you.
Well, I suppose I better be on my way. Good night, Victor. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Oh, you were serious.
Never more so, sweetheart. You suddenly managed to hear a lot, don't you?
When it's necessary.
Tell me, Miss,
Carol.
how do you know you can trust me, Carol?
Because I'm going to blindfold you for the last part of the ride.
Looks like I'll have to do the trusting.
All right, we're here. You can get out now. No, not yet. Step up. Step down, please.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. One last minute. Steam, black, even.
Oh, quite a spot you got here.
This is Mr. Jarvis, the manager.
Glad to know you, Jarvis.
My pleasure.
Where can I buy chips?
Oh, we play with ordinary money here.
Ordinary money is all I want to win.
I wish you luck.
She'll bring it to me.
And after steam, black, even.
Ten
And
on it.
after 7, red, and odd.
I had a hunch you'd bring me luck. Should we double it?
No harm in trying.
All on black.
Oh, Carol, you want it on the phone?
Excuse me.
Don't make any dates. You're spending the evening with me.
No call. Just wondered where you found him.
Victor.
You certainly know how to pick. You seen that what he's carrying?
Yeah. I wonder how much of it he'll take with him when he leaves.
Well, why worry? You're pretty good on the phone.
Cut that out. That's not in the contract.
All right, all right. Just tell them to keep on looking, and if they do locate him, ring immediately.
You're not staying here all night, are you, sir?
No, Gray, I am not. But you are. It was your hand-picked bloodhound that lost him. So it's your pigeon now.
Yes, sir. But look here, sir. Does it matter so very much where he is? I mean, we've no reason to believe he's doing anything dishonest. And... Yes, sir.
Do you want it on the black?
100 on the red, Joe.
I'm sorry, Mr. Merton, but I can't accept any more of your IOUs.
Not. I've been playing here for months now.
Well, you'd better see Mr. Jarvis about it.
Anything the matter?
Julia refuses to accept my IOU.
Could you spare me just a few moments, Mr. Merton, please?
All right.
Place your bets, ladies and gentlemen. It was you, mesdames, messieurs.
Sorry, Keith. No more IOUs.
How much do I owe you already?
All we can lose.
I'll pay it all back. You know that. But I need time.
I'm afraid you've had all the time you're going to get.
Who's the mug losing all the money?
The Saint. He hasn't wasted much time. I heard he was in town. $20 on 13.
You're not doing very well, are you?
Well, you know what they say. Unlucky at gambling, lucky at other things.
You know who you've got out there?
Sure, just another sucker.
Just another sucker. It's Simon Templar, the Saint.
How was I to know? The girl brought him.
Well, get him out of here.
All right.
Now.
You've lost a lot of money here tonight, Mr. Templar.
I'll be back.
This will cover what you lost.
Well, well. At last I've met an honest gambler.
And don't come back. You're not welcome here.
Nobody tells me I'm not welcome. You better call off your thugs. I don't intend to go quietly. You don't want too much noise here.
Come on.
See.
You can remove the blindfold now.
Oh, thanks.
Sorry, but my orders are to blindfold every customer.
Customer? I thought we were friends.
We are. And I'm sorry about what happened.
It's what I expected.
You saying the place is crooked.
Well, isn't it?
It can't be. I used to play there myself until...
Exactly. But it's not the game I'm interested in, it's the people.
The people?
Yes, for instance, that young man who left the table.
You mean Keith Merton?
Probably. He looked like a man who just come to the end of his rope.
He owes the club a great deal of money.
What happens if he can't pay off? Murder?
A dead man can hardly walk into the bank and withdraw money, Mr. Templar.
If he has no money to withdraw, he's as good as dead. How come a nice girl like you is mixed up in all this?
I'd rather not talk about it.
I'd rather not talk at all.
Mr. Templar, you're going to have to walk home.
How far is home?
18 miles.
I'd rather ride. How many does that make?
20 so far. The odds are the whole lot's fake.
You fool, Jarvis. You've let the Saints stick us with a bundle of phony notes. Well, got anything to say?
Up to you. You're not the head of this outfit, Leonard.
No. It might be better for you if I were. When the chief hears about this, you're going to be very sorry.
see me, Mr.
Barkley.
Barkley, huh? Oh, that's a big improvement.
Eh?
Before your last trip to prison, your name was Joe Pott.
How did you know that?
Just tell me who sent you.
I can't.
Perhaps I can persuade you. I dislike doing this to a friend.
Hello, boss. Oh, I beg your pardon. I didn't know you were engaged.
That's all right, Hoppy. Joe and I are old friends. You're just going to give me some information. Where'd you, Joe?
The chief wants to know why you're here.
I'll tell him. Where does he hang out?
I don't know. I've never seen him. He never gives his orders direct.
Where do you get your orders?
At the Safari Club.
All right, Joe. Thanks. Sweetheart, is the boss around?
Who wants him?
I do.
And who?
Just tell him something rather beautiful is coming to his life, will you? I'll wait here.
See if he's in. He's here.
Alone?
Yep.
Nobody followed him in?
No.
All right. We'll send him up. Maisie, turn the radio on. Loud.
He'll see you.
Where?
A door at the top of the stairs.
Come in. Come in, Templar.
Thanks.
Are you the chief? Never mind who I am. You're going to talk to us, Templar.
I doubt it. My mother always told me not to talk to dirty little boys. Why don't you handcuff me? Really make it a fair fight.
Don't try to be funny, Templar. It doesn't suit you. And I'd like to know why you're here in the first place.
What time is it? Is that clock right?
Don't worry about the time. You're not going anywhere. Stop.
What's the time?
8 minutes past.
3 minutes late.
Hurry, what's the idea? Don't call me names.
See what's going on down there. Now, Templar. For the last time, what are you looking for?
For a friend of mine, Judy Fenton.
Who cut those lights?
Suddenly went crazy, Sarge. Started fighting everybody and knocking all the machines down.
Where's he now?
Beat it when the lights went out, I guess.
Nice work, Sergeant. Carry on.
Very good, sir. Who is that?
Well, do you know him?
I know him all right. I mean, I know who he is.
Who is he?
His name's Leonard. Listen, Mr. Templar, I'd never have let you have those dud notes if I'd have guessed it was this bunch you were after.
Why, are they friends of yours?
They're friends of nobody's. They're the river mob. Cross 'em once and a man's wife is as good as a widow.
All I want from you is the identity of the one they call the chief.
What's he done to you, Mr. Templar?
Caused the death of a friend of mine.
I don't know his identity. And I'd be a fool to tell you if I did.
All right, forget it. What about this bird, Leonard?
He's just as bad.
Where does he hang out?
I don't know much about it.
But you could find out. Say for 500?
Mr. Templar, I wish you hadn't picked on me.
500 beautiful notes, made by your competitors at the Mint. And all I want in return is Lana's home address.
It'll take a little time.
Phone me when you get it.
Well, you take my advice and go back to the States. Or maybe you might never get back there again.
Thanks, Irish. Just had to get around it. I'm not leaving here till I finish this job.
Have some fun. Call 0898 32 3232 and talk to some new people now. That's 0898 32 3232.
Out now on video, 2 action-packed thrillers, Dead Cut.
Inspector Teal?
Yes? For you, sir.
Thank you. Hello, Teal here. Oh, Gray. Yes, what do you want? I am only celebrating my silver wedding anniversary. Saint again, I suppose. Broke into a club? But what happened to the man you put on to tail him? I shall have to go over there. No, I shall not be needing you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Lord, an unexpected pleasure. Are you on your way to raid a nightclub, or do you always dress like this in the evening?
Neither. I want to talk to you.
Sure, sit down.
No, thanks. This won't take long. What are you playing at? Are you taking the law into your own hands and trying to do something the police could do better?
Oh, no, Claude, definitely not. I never tackle anything the police could do better.
All right, let's say something the police would handle differently, such as your visit to the Safari Club tonight. Would you like to tell me about that?
Saved by the bell. Excuse me, Claude, the phone. Hoppy will keep you amused.
If he does, it'll be the first time.
Hello, Simon Templar here. Yeah, I'm alone. Go ahead.
Mr. Templar, heaven help me if they ever find out I told you. But Leonard has an apartment at 5 Wellington Cloisters. Calls himself Grayson.
Hoppy, would you like to get me a drink?
Sure. What'll it be?
Tomato juice.
You won't bring me in on this, will you? If that mob ever guessed.
Don't worry, I won't. Your 500 is practically on its way. Goodbye. Oh, Claude, did you make much of that?
Only that you pay well for your information. I'm warning you. Put 1 foot wrong and you had it. I'll be getting along. Don't bother. I know my way. Good night.
Good night, Claude.
Lieutenant, what about the tomato juice?
Hoppy, before you reformed, you used to be a pretty good pickpocket.
Would you be referring to my amateur conjuring tricks?
Better start practicing. I have a hunch you may need it. Brandy. Grange. Here we are, Grayson. Grayson P. 5 Wellington Cloisters.
Here he is, officer.
You identify him?
Of course. Brushed against me, like this. A moment later, I felt for my wallet. Gone.
What's this about? This gentleman said you stole his wallet.
I never saw him before in my life.
What's that? Officer, do your duty.
All right. You better both come down to the station and tell the sergeant about it. Come on.
He must have planted it on me. I never saw this guy before in my life.
Sorry, chum.
I should think so.
Hello? I thought you'd like to know. The Saint's here.
What did you say? That's impossible.
I thought you told me there was nothing to worry about. You said Lopez was keeping watch.
Don't let him leave till I get there.
What do you mean, don't let him leave? How can I stop him? I haven't even got a gun.
Look, baby, you don't need a gun. Use what you've got.
Who are you?
I'm just a poor burglar trying to make a dishonest living.
A burglar? You must have known I make a hobby of reforming burglars.
Do you?
Especially when they're good looking.
I don't know what the burglars union would say about this. Thanks, sweetheart.
on, Simon.
Of course not. The tricky worked before, you fool. He's still in the flat, in the bathroom, or under the bed or somewhere.
Well, burglars.
This is Tommy Brett's apartment, isn't it?
Never heard of him, darling. It's mine. Katie French is the name.
Oh, I am sorry. And I wanted to give old Tommy a surprise. I must have miscounted the floors or the windows or something.
Just a minute. Aren't you? Of course. Climbing in windows like that. You're Simon Templar, the saint.
Yes, that's...
Oh, you can't go to met my guests. I'd be thrilled to bits. Fancy. The saint. Oh, what a catch. Do you know, you're just what was needed to brighten the party up. I'm afraid they're rather a dreary lot of old bores. I think the gym's the most important thing, don't you? Darlings, guess who's dropped in? The saint. Oh. Come along. My favorite hero, Lady Lomond, Mr. Templar. I get you a drink, darling. Tell me, Mr. Templar, are you really the cold-blooded murderer they say?
Only in winter.
But is it true you once threw a man into a vat of acid?
It wasn't a man. It was a woman.
Come along, I want you to meet everybody. Carol, darling, meet our celebrity, Simon Templar. This is Carol Denby.
How do you do?
He's the saint, you know. I'll be right back.
Miss Denby, huh? It's nice to be formally introduced.
Yes, it is. I didn't know you were coming.
Oh, I just dropped in.
So you're really the saint. That explains everything.
Does it? Perhaps you can explain something to me.
We can't talk here. Couldn't we meet somewhere?
Sure. How about dinner?
All right. 8 o'clock at Victor's bar.
Good, it's a date.
Simon?
Katie, darling, I really must go. It's been a lovely party.
Not even one more little drink?
No, thanks, honestly. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, if you really have to go, I'll call you a taxi.
Don't bother. It's such a lovely day. I'll walk.
Hello, Colonel. Mr. Templar, how nice to see you. Everything all right? It depends on how you look at it, Colonel. I don't understand. But people who believe that Judy's death was an accident are going to be disappointed. So you have discovered something then? Yes. Not only had she lost money, but she was tied in with a gambling racket. If you know that, why don't you go to the police? I will. As soon as I find out who runs the show.
Forgive me, Colonel, but I must see Mr. Templar. Mrs. Falk was dying to know if you really broke into the Kremlin.
Hello, Carol.
Mr. Leonard.
Would you spare me a minute?
Why did you bring Templar to the barge?
I hadn't...
We told you to bring pigeons, not hawks. If you think that bringing the saint will put you in the clear, you're very much mistaken.
I didn't know he was the saint.
How much have you told him?
About what?
Does he know where the barge is?
Of course not. He was blindfolded for the last 5 miles.
You swear to that?
Look, Mr. Leonard, I made a bargain with you to clear my gambling debts. I've kept my side of the bargain.
All right, all right.
I don't like your manner.
And I don't like the company you keep. I would strongly advise you to forget that you ever met the saint. You remember Judy Fenton? I wouldn't like you to be involved in an accident. All right, Dors, we'll take her home.
Yes, miss. Very good, miss. Mr. Templar, sir? Yes. Miss Carol Denby has just phoned, sir. She's been called out of town and doesn't know when she'll get back.
I see. Thank you, Victor. Cancel my table for dinner, will you?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Good night.
Good night.
Hiya, boss.
Hi, Hoppy.
A 4-letter word for female.
Good day.
What happened, boss? Stand you up?
Hey. Hoppy, you've got to find that gambling board I told you about.
Yes, boss. How?
I'll show you. I was driven there from London. Just before I was blindfolded, I checked the speedometer. Now, she could have driven around in circles or doubled back. I'm allowing for that. I figure the boat must be moored within these limits. It must be moored permanently because there's a telephone on board. I can't tell you much about the place, but I do know there's a church clock nearby that strikes the quarters. Okay?
Okay.
Think you can find it?
Oh, it's a little river, boss. It's gonna be rather tough. But I'll find it for you.
That's my boy. Merton. Oh, no, that's too much of a coincidence.
Huh?
The manager of that gambling book tore up an IOU that some kid gave him. It was signed by a Keith Merton. That's it. And in Leonard's desk, there's a plan of a house called Merton Lodge.
So?
So if anybody wants me, I'm spending a real old-fashioned Christmas in the country.
Okay, boss.
This way, sir.
Lord Merton?
Mr. Templar?
Yes.
How do you do?
It's good of you to have me here. I hope I'm not putting you out.
Not in the least, my dear fellow. Very glad to have you. Any friend of the ambassador's always welcome here.
Right.
Keith, this is my son, Mr. Templar.
How do you do?
All right.
Take Mr. Templar to his room, will you, Keith?
Yes, of course, sir.
You'll meet the rest of the party at dinner. Perry here will look after you. Unless, of course, you've brought your own man.
No, he's doing a little research at the moment.
Really?
In clocks.
Clocks? Oh, of course.
This way, sir.
Darling, I didn't know you were going to be here.
This is French. I didn't know you were going to be here.
I gave Crash all the best parties. But, darling, why Mrs. French? What's wrong with Katie?
That I have yet to find out.
This is going to be too wonderful. When you dropped into my place, I had to share you with all those old bags. I mean, I was the hostess, wasn't I? But now we're both guests here together, so I shall monopolize you all evening. But all evening.
That should be quite an experience.
Excuse me.
Keith,
Oh, hello, Carol.
what on earth is Simon Templar doing here?
Search me. The governor asked him.
How could he know that I'd be here?
You think he's here because of you?
I'm sure of it.
I hadn't thought of that. I hope you're right.
I think this is a good time for me to retire with a headache. Good night, Keith.
Good night.
Mr. Templar, what are you doing here? What do you want?
Little chat we didn't have the other night.
Believe me, I'm sorry about that, but it just wasn't possible for me to meet you. Now, please go.
Look, Carol, I know you're being forced into working for the river mob. I'd like to help you. I want you to help me, sort of be my girl Friday.
I can't tell you anything.
I see. They threatened you, huh?
If you really want to help me, please leave me alone.
All right, I'll go. But you'll get help, whether you like it or not. Good evening, gentlemen. Looking for someone?
What happened? The young fool.
We're sorry we woke you up. Lord Merton, will you call the police? Don't be a dope, Keith. It worked out just like I said it would. Nobody here knows about tonight except me.
But the mob will really be after me now.
I have a hunch they won't be operating much longer.
Why are you doing this?
Did you know Judy Fenton?
Very well. Why do you ask?
She was being blackmailed by the river mob, wasn't she?
How did you know that?
And she was a very good driver, wasn't she?
You mean car accident?
Accident? You don't believe that.
No.
I was very fond of Judy. Before she was killed, she sent me a cable asking for help. You could be a big help to me. In return, I promise to forget all about tonight.
I really could make a fresh start.
Of course you can. Meanwhile, you better get away from here.
I'm ready to give evidence anytime. Maybe it'll make up for what I've done.
That's the spirit. Good night.
Good night.
Can I help you?
Would you say this was a boat?
No, I should say it was a barge.
Thanks. That's what I thought.
Lord Merton, I can't say how sorry I am. I'd like you to tell me something, Templar. Of course, sir, anything.
How much are you involved in all this?
I?
You came here for the first time last night. Within a few hours, young Carol Denby ran away.
Run away?
During the night, my house was broken into. And now, my son has...
Lord Merton, I'm sure Keith didn't take his own life. We had a talk last night, and suicide was not in his mind.
What are you trying to tell me?
That he was murdered.
They asked me to demonstrate a new way to...
Where the devil is Leonard? Can't be with the chief all this time.
Sometimes I wonder if he's not with the chief all the time.
Meaning?
Meaning that he's the only one of us who ever sees this mysterious chief. Meaning that I think maybe Mr. Leonard himself.
Go on, Jarvis.
What about me?
There's nothing. Just conversation, that's all.
I've orders from the chief. The Saint is to be eliminated. But after we find out how much he knows and what he's told the police.
Who's going to do it?
The chief suggested you, Jarvis. You let him in here in the first place.
Well, the girl brought him.
Don't worry, we want the thing done properly. You'd only land us in more trouble. Lopez, you and Dors make sure of him this time.
Any instructions?
Just do the job.
Mr. Templar's residence.
Hello. Hello.
Hello, this is Mr. Templar's residence. Hello. What is this? Hello, is there anyone there? Hello. Operator.
Poppy?
Don't move, Mr. Templar.
Well, this is an unexpected, gentlemen.
The pleasure's all ours. Step into the next room.
Get the lights on!
Sorry, boss. They ganged up on me.
One of them did it for the last time.
What are you going to do? Call the police?
What will Teal say when I tell him there's a body here? Nothing to do with me, of course.
Might not believe you.
You might be right. Have you got that list of possible gambling boats?
I only found a few, but they're not really like you said, boss.
Well, we'll try him anyway. I'll get the car and pick you up, okay?
Yeah, but what should I do with him?
Oh, we'll lose him someplace.
But where?
I don't care. Anywhere, as long as he's not here when I get back.
Yeah, but...
Carol, darling, this is a surprise. How nice.
Katie, I know you're not expecting me, but I thought you wouldn't mind.
Of course I don't, darling. I'm delighted. Do come in. By the way, darling, isn't it awful about Keith committing suicide? Poor boy, I can't imagine why he did it.
I can, that's why I'm here. Katie, I've got to get in touch with the Saint. Do you have his address?
Saint? Darling, how odd you should ask. He's telephoned me twice today to see if I knew where you were.
Did he leave his number?
Yes, he did. I got it somewhere, I think. I hope this isn't too personal, darling, but why are you two so anxious to find each other? I mean, I know he's madly attractive and all that, but...
He's after some dangerous crooks, and I want to help him.
I was afraid of that.
Good evening, Carol. Isn't it lucky that you came here first?
You two have met before, I believe.
So you've decided to ignore my advice after all. Not a very wise decision, my dear.
Ready? Yeah. Okay, let's go. I'll get it. Hello?
Simon, it's Carol. I'm a prisoner aboard the...
We've got the girl. How long she stays alive depends on you. Listen, Templar. There's a plane leaving for New York in 2 hours. Be on it and we'll let Carol go. If you're not, or if you make any attempt to find her, You'll have one more death on your conscience.
Was it the girl, boss?
Yeah, Lena's got her. We've 2 hours to find her. Hoppy, are you sure you got every possible place on that list? There must be one of them. There's no time for party manners. We'll just have to barge in.
Yes, barge. The guy said it wasn't a boat, so I didn't put it on the list.
You mean there's a barge somewhere that... What did he look like, the man who talked to you?
Oh, medium-sized, slim, fair-haired, youngish.
Jarvis! Come on, show me the way. Right on cue, Claude. And you couldn't be less welcome.
Cut out the funny stuff, Saint. Where's Carol Denby?
Why ask me?
She's disappeared. Her car was found outside this building.
Look, I'm in a hurry.
You aren't going anywhere. I have an odd hunch I've got something on you this time.
Odd's the word. Look, Teal, you won't have anything on me till you find me with a room full of bodies. We'll be back in an hour. You stay here and relax. I'll get you tomato juice.
No, boss, you don't want any.
I'll do it, but what's the great hurry?
I'm not there by 10. The girl gets it.
They've got Carol?
Yes, and they're not bluffing. Give me an hour and then call Teal. He should be free by then.
It'll be the first time I've ever called in the law.
Get aboard the barge. You cover the gangplank, but keep out of sight. I'm expecting a visitor. Don't let him come aboard until you hear my whistle. Okay?
Okay, boss.
Hope you can swim, pal. Are your pal busy? Sorry, Grandpa. I wish you all the compliments of the season.
Simon.
Hello, sweetheart. Do me a favor, will you? Pick up Lover Boy's gun. You better get the one Mr. Leonard's pretending he hasn't got. Don't try it. That's how people get hurt.
Don't take another step. Put up your hands and turn around. Oh, it's you. Mr. Templar's expecting somebody else. Come on, I'll tell him you're here.
Oh, quite a bag of rats. Had the one in the river, the gentleman in the office, and we certainly got ourselves a nestful.
Surprise for you, boss.
Drop your gun, Templar, or your friend gets it.
Nice timing.
Welcome aboard, Irish. Or should I call you the Chief?
Chief? Boss, why didn't you tell me?
I didn't know myself until this evening. That's where you made your mistake, Irish. Calling Carol by her name. I never told it to you.
That's right. You didn't.
I should have guessed when you gave me Lena's address and had that reception committee waiting for me.
So you know who I am.
And I know what you are, Irish. Blackmailing kids into working for you so they can pay off their IOUs. Staging murder so they look like accidents and suicide.
Shut up. And how much of this have you told your friend Teal?
That, sweetheart, is a secret I'll take to my watery grave. But don't worry. You'll discover the answer, and pleasantly soon.
I'll give you exactly 3 seconds, Templar.
Come in, Inspector. Nice going, sweetheart. Hoppy, gather them all up. I'm going to call the inspector.
Well?
Please, Claude, don't bark. I just wanted to know if you'd like to arrest some of the river mob boys. Because if you would, they're all yours, including the chief.
All right, Saint. Where are they? Right. I'm on my way.
The inspector's on his way over, Hoppy. I'm leaving. Be nice to him. He's a little sore.
What's that for?
To cover our expenses.
If you're taking the car, how do I get back to town?
I'm not taking the car. I thought Carol and I would go in the canoe.
Canoe? Well, that'll take ages.
I'm in no hurry. Coming.